Welcome to the RCTV in Conversation with podcast. Our host, Mark Bunting, brings you the latest news, industry trends, and investment ideas from the junior mining sector. In this week's episode, Chris Gale, Latin Resources Managing Director, provides insight on the company's Salinas Lithium Project in Brazil, likely expansion on the Colina West project, their upcoming DFS, and much more. With that, Mark, over to you.
Joining me now is Chris Gale. He is the Managing Director of Latin Resources. Good to see you, Chris.
Hi, Mark. How are you? Good to be talking.
Very well, thank you. Let's talk about your company. You've got projects in Brazil, Argentina, Peru, Australia, but we're going to focus on your Salinas Lithium Project, where you've come out with a maiden resource. And Kobe Kushner, our Red Cloud analyst, he says your resource reminds him of the early days and the early resource initial numbers from Sigma Lithium, which is about 60 kilometers away from you, as you know. So can you give us some broad strokes overview of what you got there?
Yeah, sure, Mark. Thanks. I think Kobe's right. From memory, Sigma started off with around about a 14 million ton resource that moved to 21, which quite quickly moved to 47, and then they're sitting around 85 million ton at the moment. They've done a great job. They've put Brazil on the map for lithium. We work very closely with Anna and Sigma. She's been fantastic for us. So our maiden resource has come out at 13.3 million ton with an exploration target on Colina only of 22 million ton. And so it's been a wonderful result for the company. We put that out in December, but yeah, we're really now developing and building that resource as we speak. I'm in Brazil next week to go to site and check everything out, but we're very excited about 2023 for Latin Resources. And in particular with Sigma, we've just, SGS, Lakefield out of Canada, did our resource estimate, the same people that did Sigma's. We're also using SGS for our test work. We're also using them for our assays. We're actually using the same environmental and mining permit consultants as Sigma as well. So we believe that this company, Latin Resources, can emulate what Sigma's done over the next couple of years. And I believe they start production next quarter. So it's very exciting for Sigma, very exciting for us.
And your shareholders would love that for sure. Now, Chris, you said there is a very good chance for expansion. Your assay results at Colina West were called compelling. So can you give us an update on the potential for expansion?
Yeah. So, Mark, we're drilling. We've got 6 rigs on site. Another 2 arrive next week when I get there. 2 big track-mounted drill rigs that drill a lot deeper. We're drilling 65,000 metres this year, so it's a massive program. The aim of the company and the board direction is to drill to get this resource as big as we can, as quick as we can. So we're expecting some upgrades over the next few months of the resource and leading into a lot bigger resource over the next 3 to 6 months. So we're going hell to leather to actually develop and build this resource as quick as we can, as big as we can. So yeah, once again, very exciting times for Latin Resources.
Can you flesh out that fast track approach? I know that you went from first drilling to maiden resource in 10 months, which is quite quick. And then you're looking to get to a PEA sometime in the first half of this year, correct?
Yeah, correct. So we've had some excellent results from Colina West. So the project that we've got the resource on at the moment is Colina. 500 metres to the west is our newer project, Colina West, a newer deposit. We ran half a dozen holes across there. We put our assay results out. We had intersections from, around 10 to 20 metres intercepts with some very good grade from 1.3 to 1.9%. So that has given us an enormous amount of confidence to put 4 rigs onto that Kalina West site, and once again to drill that out so we can build a resource. Kalina West, in the words of Tony Greenaway, our GM of Geology, has said Kalina West will be as good, if not better, than Kalina. So our investors can really anticipate and see, I think, over the coming months, that resource growing very quickly with Kalina West.
Include pilot plant testing, resource update, definitive feasibility study. You're hoping by the end of the year. So run us through that timeline if you could.
Yeah, sure. So running in parallel with the drilling, as I said earlier, we've just appointed, or we appointed in November, our environmental mining permit consultants. They've been running that program over the Salinas project now for 3 months. We commenced our PEA in around November as well. SGS Lakefield are also running our preliminary economic assessment program. So we hope to have coincide with our upgrade with our drilling, our PEA completed between April and May. And then once that's completed, we then move straight into our DFS. We want and aim to have our DFS completed by December of this year. So a lot of work ahead of us, but once again, there's been a company called Salinas Lithium paved the way for us in some respects. In other words, they have set the scene. They have been the game changers in Brazil, and particularly in lithium, and we want to emulate and follow that pathway the same way Salinas had. So we have all the same consultants assisting us with that. It's been a really, really good, I suppose, opportunity that you've taken and running with very, very rapidly.
Lastly, Chris, with the stock, it's performed quite well, higher highs, higher lows. How would you say the market is perceiving the story at Latin Resources?
Well, it's quite an interesting question, Mark. The reason why we're using Red Cloud Securities is because I think here in Australia, we're a listed ASX company and we have a great resource. Our market cap currently is around 250 million market cap. We look at Sigma at 4.5, 5 billion market cap. Yes, they're ahead of us in the way of development, but we're not getting, I don't think we're getting the traction we should be getting based on our asset. Like the recovery rates, for example, we've put our test work out, test work results out recently, 80% recoveries with a 6.5% concentrate. They're outstanding. The Australian market's focused on Australian assets. I think we're being discounted for being in South America. This is why we're going to really push hard with Red Cloud over the next 6 to 12 months with educating the North American market. And once I think that market picks up on what we're doing in North America, because the Canadians love South America, I think we'll get a lot more traction. So we're coupled with the great good fundamentals coming out of the ground and on the project.
Thanks for the update today, Chris. We'll be watching, and good luck with everything.
Thanks very much, Mark. Bye.
Chris Gale, Managing Director of Latin Resources.
That's it for this episode of the RCTV podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and share to learn more from CEOs, industry experts, and to dig into the world of mining.